Alright guys, Tesla unveiled the Cybertruck, and wow, this is going to divide everyone in so many ways. If Tesla wasn't controversial enough for you, it's definitely gonna be now, and I feel so bad for that live demo, okay? Craig Federighi with Face ID, he was the longtime runner for one of the worst live demos that ever happened on stage. I think this tops it. The glass demo test, where they slammed a metal ball into the side of the Cybertruck, and then for the rest of the event, we had to look at that broken glass. But you know what? The media is going to highlight that. Everyone's going to talk about it. I'm going to save it for the end of today's video because I think it's very easy to just focus on the glass breaking and ignore all of the other amazing things they did with this truck. But I'm also not, in love with it either, okay? I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. So let's begin, please. Starting off with the design, they started out this event full force by saying, we're not trying to make a truck that looks like everybody else's. And I kind of applaud them for that. Not to say that I absolutely love this design. It's very function over form, which is different and unique to see from Tesla because their cars have always been focused on being, sexy and aesthetically pleasing and aerodynamic and very good looking. And this feels like the complete opposite direction where they just focus on durability, performance, how big the bed is. It's a 6.5 foot bed, towing capability of over 14,000 pounds, maxed out. The range is over 500 miles in an EV, which is insane. And the starting price was 10 grand lower than we originally thought it was going to be. The range is also a lot lower, to be fair, but the fact that this is obtainable to way more people than things like the Rivian will be, or even other pickup trucks it's competing with, is quite impressive. So design-wise, it sits 6 people. The interior is borrowing a lot from previous generation Teslas, so it kind of has the Roadster steering wheel, it appears, but I don't know if that'll make it on the manufacturing version. The display, while it may look like the Model 3 display, I'm glad it's landscape. I like landscape displays. That's good for viewing content and stuff, but it's actually a 17-inch screen, which makes it a little bit larger than the Model 3 screen, which is a 15-inch display because Apple one-upped them, obviously, with the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Tesla just had to knock it out of there. No, we have the bigger screen than the MacBook. I'm sure these companies are direct competitors. But yeah, the design of it is what they described as an exoskeleton. So it's a stainless steel body, which is why you're only seeing it in one color, which again, function over form. They demoed on stage, the demo that went well, was they slammed a standard door with a sledgehammer, and they showed how it dented and how it scraped. And they also slammed the Cybertruck with the sledgehammer. No scratches, no dents, no nothing. This truck can take a beating. It's made to be durable, way more durable than average pickup trucks or average cars, of course. So you still have a really large bed in the back for storing stuff, of course, and there's 3 tiers that they're currently advertising. There's a rear-wheel drive single motor design. That's the one that starts at $39,900, basically 40 grand, which in a podcast, Elon said they wanted to get the pickup truck around 49 grand, but they undercut that by like 9 grand. This thing starts at 40K, which was way better than I thought it was going to be. And then they have the dual motor option, which is of course all-wheel drive, much better for traction. And then later, which is kind of interesting, they're actually starting with the cheaper models and then they're going to work their way up to the more expensive model, which actually comes with quite a price jump. The dual motor option is $50,000, just a little bit under, but then for an extra 20 grand, so you had a jump of 10,000 and then another jump of 20,000, that's how you get the one with 500 miles of range and 3 motors. So I'm guessing 2 in the back, 1 in the front. Obviously insane torque and traction on that thing. The slowest one, the cheapest one, can go 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. Still really fast, but for Tesla, kind of average. Not too great, actually. Probably one of their slowest vehicles. The higher tier option with the dual motor can do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, which for a pickup truck is pretty insane. And then that maxed out version, the one that's 70 grand, that can do 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. 2.9 they're advertising on the site. And if it's anything like Tesla's events before, that means those numbers are probably going to be beaten by the time this thing goes into production. So yes, you can actually reserve one right now. It costs $100 and it's fully refundable, although their site was breaking from reservations as I was recording this, so may or may not be up right now, but they're saying production is expected to begin late 2021. So we still got a couple of years before you actually see this weird looking truck out on the freeway. And they said the triple motor option is not going into production until the end of 2022. So this car is definitely coming from the future, and I live stream my reaction to it. I'm seeing people fall on both sides. Obviously, the subject we're all discussing is the design. A lot of people hate it. They absolutely despise the fact that it just looks like a giant trapezoid / triangle model. It just looks like a prototype. It looks like it shouldn't be a production model. It definitely, I think, deserves the term Cybertruck. I think it makes a lot of sense why they gave it the Mad Max treatment at this event, and they treated the marketing all differently. They didn't just call it Tesla pickup because they couldn't do that. This thing clearly looks way different than your average pickup. But I kind of applaud them for that because they looked at the 100 years of pickup truck designs and said, you know, there's not much different. We want something different that also uses sustainable energy. And I can applaud them for being so brave to unveil something so weird, so bizarre, something that looks like it belongs on Mars more than it does on Earth. It looks like a Land Rover that you'd see driving around on the moon or something. And the fact that they're willing to put a price tag on that and put it into production is kind of impressive. I'm very curious to see what your guys' response is, particularly people from the pickup truck community. I imagine a large majority of them are all going to look at it and say, that thing's hideous, I would never drive it. And there's probably up-and-coming generations or Tesla enthusiasts that just see the functionality, as Tesla's showcasing on their website. This thing has a tailgate that comes all the way to the ground that you can now load the Cyber Quad. Oh yeah, by the way, Tesla made an ATV that you can drive right up to the top, and of course it has 220-volt charging on the back, so you can actually charge the ATV while it's in the bed of the truck. Of course, adaptive air suspension, so the truck will adapt depending on the payload, and it has a built-in air compressor. So if you want to fill up tires or do whatever you need to do with an air compressor, you have that option, and of course that's standard. You get that even on the $40,000 truck. This is what I mean by Tesla went completely on function, and they completely threw out aesthetic. I think they kind of looked at it as, you know, Tesla enthusiasts, they'll probably love us no matter what, and people that hate Tesla, they're probably gonna hate us no matter what. So why don't we just do what we want to do, and we'll go from there. Very brave, because I'm sure they are well aware of how much criticism they're going to get for this thing. Very boxy, very sharp edges, almost looks like a completely different company from the company that gave you the semi-truck, the Roadster, the Model 3, the Model S. None of these cars look like they're even remotely in the same family as the Cybertruck. Makes me wonder if, due to criticism and maybe lack of demand, Tesla would consider making a more traditional pickup truck more akin to the ones that we've seen in concept photos. But hey, gotta say, it was quite exciting to watch an event and have no idea what the design of this product was going to be. That like never happens anymore, and it's probably not going to happen for many, many years. Before Apple events and everything, we always know the design before it drops. This time, we were shocked, and man, no concept art out there was really anywhere close. In regards to my personal preference, I'm kind of split on this design. I like the interior. The interior looks really, really neat. I love the fact that it's a 17-inch display, and honestly, that's more important to me, because that's where you spend your time on the car, and I think maybe there's some secret genius to Tesla's mentality here. As crazy as it may look, when they drove that thing on stage, a lot of people were like, is this a joke? There's no way that's real. This has to be a troll. At the same time, I think we have, 2 years to let this design grow on us, and simultaneously, pickup truck drivers inherently shouldn't really be caring that much about the aesthetic. It's a pickup truck. It's made to get work done. And while the Cybertruck breaks all of your traditional opinions and all the traditional design trends of pickup trucks, what it does functionally really is quite amazing compared to what other pickup trucks offer. The fact that you can charge this from home or at supercharging stations, supports over 250 kilowatt hours, of course has that towing capability that other Teslas don't have. I think this could end up being a success. I'm not convinced that just because of the live demo slip up on stage that this thing is gonna flop or no one's gonna buy this. I think there's a market for it. I don't think it's huge, but I think it's there. The pickup truck market is an enormous one in the United States, and I think even if this is a niche market, even if this is a small piece of it, it could still end up selling really, really well because, like I said, it's a big demographic. Time will tell, of course. No one's really gonna know until this thing actually starts delivering, but okay, I'll address it now. Now that we've got all of my opinions and thoughts out about the Cybertruck, oh my god, that demo crushed my heart. It hurt so hard. I've never cringed so much, and I've never felt so bad for Elon Musk in my entire life that during that demo, they had to throw the metal ball against the glass to prove how strong Tesla glass is, and that's the thing. I'm sure it is strong. They had a perfectly good demo before they tried it on the actual Cybertruck, where they showed how far they can drop that heavy ball on the glass, and it was durable. But maybe it's because it was angular, or the guy hit it at just the wrong angle, but why couldn't you just save the durability test for the end of the event? Because something something went wrong, obviously. They cracked both those side glass windows, and now that was on stage during the entire event. So every time press or YouTubers or anyone posts pictures of that Cybertruck on stage, they have to see that shattered glass behind Musk. Oh, it was so bad. I think this will go down in history books for one of the worst live demos ever on stage. That being said though, okay, criticism where criticism is due. Let's be fair here. Any car that received a metal ball to the side of the glass at that velocity would have shattered. This is not a significant downside to the Cybertruck that other trucks don't have. Any truck would have broken with that durability. So the fault isn't really in the Cybertruck itself, it's more in the confidence of the Tesla team, thinking that, well, we spent all this time trying to make our, transparent metal better with our new Tesla glass so that this thing would be super durable. We just thought, hey, we could go on stage, throw a metal ball on it, and it would probably be fine, and they were wrong. But Elon did say they, in tests, threw all kinds of stuff at the glass and it didn't shatter, and this was the one time it did. As someone who makes a lot of YouTube videos and does a lot of live streams, I can totally relate to that. I've done tons of live stream and video tests where everything works great when you're testing it, but then when you do it for real while you're live in front of an audience, suddenly things don't work, and I can completely relate to that. So while I think everyone is definitely going to hover around that and say, the glass broke, keep in mind, I still believe wholeheartedly that the glass is stronger than the average glass on any car, and I don't think that's a significant downside to the Cybertruck, despite the fact that, yeah, I completely agree. Because they did that on stage and because it's going to be in all the photos, everyone's not going to let that down. Everyone's going to bring it up, and if you hate Tesla, there was plenty of anti-Tesla fuel for you to consume and pump out your internal combustion engine. So, yeah, congrats, Tesla haters. You got something to feed off of. But to me, I just think it was a really bad on-stage demo. I wouldn't look more into it than that. I'm sure Tesla's going to go over the top now with making sure that the final version doesn't do that and has really good glass durability. They're going to double down, and maybe even some people are getting fired tonight. That sums up my thoughts on the Cybertruck event. Of course, I want to know what you guys think of it, so please hit me up on Twitter, join our Discord, we can chat more about it there, and this video just scratches the surface of what I want to talk about. Man, this is your Tesla Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.